A name is the most basic and arguably the most important part of a person's identity. The passage of Proposition 63 in 1986 declared English the official language of California and eliminated the use of diacritical marks on vital records. But prior to this, diacritical marks were permitted on vital records. This bill simply seeks to restore what was once state law. California residents should be able to choose the names of their children without limits from the government.
Our names represent our origin, our heritage, our culture. But when I speak of culture, it's not just what countries, what parts of the world we came from, but it's also our culture as Californians. We stand for freedom, we stand for choice. That's why it's important to support this bill.
My name has an accent on it, and it's not Lyman, it's not Lemoine, and it's not Lemon. I think it is 2017. It is a different last name, and the accent is pronounced different. So I think that this is, it's Limon. Yes, it's Limon. That's the right pronunciation. But it's 2017. I think that we, it makes sense to be able to identify people and not change their identity.
Well, my son was born with an accent. And of course, I'm not talking about an accent when he speaks, but it's an accent on his name. And that accent carries all the information that, my family's history, tradition, and culture. And that's what I'm trying to give and hand down to my son. Well, accents go beyond grammar. Proper Spanish has the accents, but that accent carries culture, tradition, history, and so it's the name, the word has all of that, and the accent is necessary for it to be properly written and conveyed.
Maybe even somebody could do this by hand if the cost is a real issue. I don't know how many of these would potentially happen in a county. But I think it's important when a family receives the record that they receive a record that reflects the true name of their child, whether that diacritical mark is placed by hand or by computer or whatever.
Before I was born, after thinking of all the possible names for their firstborn son, my parents decided to name me Jose. On April 5th, 2004, I was born and given a birth certificate. However, the birth certificate did not display the name that my parents had given me. No, it did not read Jose. It simply read Jose. My family comes from Mexican ancestors and many Joses before me. Legally, with the accent taken off my E, it becomes seemingly non-existent, no longer containing all the meaning my parents and my ancestors before me had intended it to have. I find it to be very unfair that I am not able to keep the accent on my E. The name I was given is not only the name I respond to, it's the name that represents my Mexican heritage. However, as I stated before, taking the accent off my E is the equivalent to taking part of the meaning of my name away. Also, it changes the pronunciation of my name, taking away the emphasis that should be given when actually saying Jose. In conclusion, I believe the law in California is unfair and should be changed. Names should be able to keep their accents. I'm here on the behalf of all Joses and people with accents on their name.
I don't think I could be any more eloquent than our 12-year-old student here, Jose, whose name I share. I happen to be born in San Jose, California. So they named me Jose. And my father graduated from San Jose State, then college, now university. And if you look at everything that San Jose State puts out has an accent mark on the E for Jose. When California became a state, our Constitution was written in English and in Spanish. And in the 1800s, they were able, I am sure, to put accent marks. So I agree with Member Limon that in 2017, the technology that we now have available should be able to also do the same thing that they did back in the 1800s.